Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is April 9th of 2023, and I got this about a week or so ago, maybe longer. I just now hooked it up, a couple hours ago. Seems to be working. I'm not sure if I'm going to do, I'll put a link below to this. You can check it out. I think it's a good bargain. And I looked, a lot of people recommended it and all that type of stuff. But I'm not, I'm not going to do any kind of a, real review of it. I'll just put a link below to it. In other words, I guess check it out.
Building as well, and I think you can imagine them living in style.
Well, if the word style comes to mind, really it just shrieks it here. This is big capital letters in style. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely off the date. Check. The maker is Carol Powder at Jablonec. Gablensk, is it?
I really like the UK Antiques Roadshow, but once before, well, maybe more than once, I went to the site and told you, hey, I really like the Antiques Roadshow from the UK, and I got it, a copyright hit because I couldn't find where to silence the audio for it. I understand. I don't want to steal anybody's work. Or anything like that. But there's supposed to be, I believe you're supposed to be allowed to review something. Now, not if you copy half of it or something like that. Should be able to go and give 2 or 3 minutes and you're talking about it or something. And I think when I got there, and that didn't matter. The hit just meant that I had a hit, and that if there was music or something in there, that those people would get the money or something. Let's see, what else is going on? This page always loads slow for me. I must have too many things picked to pop up. It takes a while to load. I haven't paid any attention. I wonder if it's... No, it's okay. I'm using Chrome. Huh. CNN just has too many, too many advertisements, I think. They I don't know, they just overdo it. I guess it's been a while since it's warm. I've got one of those Yeti things, and I put ice in there. There's ice in there right now. But I don't see anything I don't see any big news. I'm sure there is big news here. At least 3 people shot during a confrontation at a mall food court. I worked, full-time hospital security for 30 years. And I worked jobs before that. Post office, welder, all types of jobs before that. but I worked 30 years hospital security. And then during that time, I worked a lot of contract security jobs. So, part-time, full-time hospital security, part-time. And I worked at several different malls, shopping malls. Was one of them. I worked at a radio and television station. And I don't know. Four dead. This is not that. Let's see. 4 dead, including a child, following an overnight domestic violence incident and police shooting in Orlando, Florida. Another different story. 2 police officers and another person killed in gunfire exchange during a traffic stop. I was leaving work from hospital security. I was leaving work at 10 p.m. One night I pulled out of the hospital parking garage onto the street and went up and crossed the intersection, and somebody shot at me. I was in a Volkswagen Rabbit, and it hit about this close on my car, right on the guttering, the guttering that runs around there, about that far from my temple. And I didn't see anybody. I heard the bang, ping, and I knew right away what it was. I just kept driving, went on home. The next day when I came to work, our shift, security shift there, we got off at 10 p.m. Sam Bird was his name. He was a security officer, but he was also a pastor. But he was right, I guess, right behind me. And he saw the 2 guys standing on the sidewalk there, and he saw, guy, do that. I didn't even report it to police, Kansas City, Missouri police at that time. I think that's when they were doing their thing. They asked for, I'm not sure, 1,700 pops in my mind, 1,700. I might be wrong on that. But they had X number of police officers working for the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. They also had reserve officers, who, were not, they were full-time, they were officers, fully commissioned, and, they didn't have to ride with another officer or anyone they were on, But the Kansas City, Missouri police officers said that, they needed more officers. And the city said, the chief of police said, well, we can't afford it. And so the officers just made it clear that, okay, well, when I'm on a call, I'm just going to stay on the call. I'm just going to go ahead and finish the shoplifting report or the minor accident that happened, or I'm just going to finish, and I won't answer the call unless it's a beep, 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 assist the officer call. So, they had a bad attitude. And of course, what I blogged about back then was, I'm a supporter of, police officers and law enforcement and college teachers, all that type of stuff. Oh, man. But I said, well, if the police officers are saying they're not going to, what I just do, if I were in a position to do it, if I were the chief of police, I'm not even sure he could, probably do it. There'd be so many, fingers in the food or whatever. I just say, well, I'm the chief of police, and I'll be spending 3 hours in my office, and the rest of the time I will be out in a patrol car. Now, I may be out in the patrol car doing work, and, I'll have my clipboard and stuff with me. I may be doing it, and then And I'd say, okay, you know, for the kernels that they have, okay, you spend half a day doing your kernel stuff, and the other half of the day you spend patrolling and doing whatever needs to be done. Okay, the majors, okay, used to be the same. And sergeants, of course, the sergeants are actually, you know, out with their people or checking it. Anyway, in other words, I would just do that. I'd just say, you want to fuck, you know, here, you know. But nothing really, you know, nothing really happened. I mean, nothing happened that I think improved. Probably the same situation. I don't know. I left Kansas City in 2000. But, I don't know, probably the same situation. Let's see, what am I looking at? Nothing. My voice is not going to make it. I made 11 minutes so far, but anyway, I hooked this up. Whoops. Well, you can see it up in the corner. Let's see how this works. On the speed test, oh hub. Seems like it's doing okay. So I have 4 Wi-Fi's, you know, that I can check into. Let's see. Okay, I'm connected with this computer to the TP-Link. This is model AC1750. Seems like it's working okay, but there again, you know, check out this or whatever, or find somebody that does a good YouTube, you know, that disconnects things, hooks up different things, tries all different ways, measures, you know, the thing. I'm just telling you that you know, it was easy to hook up, and I've got my 2 Wi-Fi connections, and I've got 2 more Wi-Fi, you know, connections because of this. And if I remember, well, I didn't pay much attention to the reading, but I think only one shows up for this, but this device knows whether you have access to 5G or whether you have the slower one, and whichever one, if it knows you can get the 5G, then you'll get the 5G. If not, I didn't mark them though, so, well, you only see one. You automatically know, it knows where you're getting it. Then of course I have my 2 other connections for Wi-Fi, and I don't have them marked either, which I've meant to do that several times, is go and, you know, the one that's 5G, you know, mark it or whatever. I could even put low, or, well, I wouldn't put low, you know, yeah. Let's see, what else? Well, my voice isn't going to stay, so I'm going to have to figure out some kind of breakfast to get. Okay. I tell you, if you happen to find somebody that you think, and it doesn't have to be just one person, but if you find a couple people who do a good review on this on YouTube, you might, you know, you can go ahead and post it on your own if you want to. You know, when you leave a comment, say, hey, Jim, this guy seems like he did a really good, review on it. And then it'll be there if you put it in the comment section with the link, Anyway, thank you very much for watching.